What is up, YouTube? It is PuddlesA1 here, and I am bringing you another narrated Wi-Fi battle. So today, guys, I have an OU match against Blackzero2125. If you guys aren't familiar with him, please stick around to the end of the video. His link will be in the team preview, as you guys know. So anyways, I know you guys are thinking, Puddles, dude, what is with this team? What are you doing? I'm about to tell you, okay, so calm down. So I decided to make an anti-meta team, just because, weather is so prevalent now. There's Genesect, Garchomp, Terrakion, Kieran Black just came down, and Torny T. So I decided to make a team that would just stop all that stuff from happening. I have the Sun being set up by Ninetales. I have Wobbuffet for those big threats that I mentioned. And then I have Volcarona and Mamoswine, just because +1 Volcarona is a monster, especially under the sun. And then Mamoswine, come on, he is the king of anti-meta, so that's about it, guys. Let's get into this. So here we go. He's going to lead off with Genesect, and I'm going to lead off with my Wobbuffet. Now, the Wobbuffet's the obvious lead here, but the play that he was going to make, I kind of get confused. I thought maybe he would be the good player and go for the Bug Buzz, or maybe he would be the good player and predict me to go for the counter to go and or go for the Mirror Coat and go for the U-turn. But I go for the counter because I thought he'd go for U-turn. He doesn't do that. He actually goes into Thunderbolt, which is good and bad. Good because he got damage off on my Wobbuffet and didn't get damage off on his Genesect, but bad because I can go into Mamoswine like this, take the Thunderbolt, and then hit something hard with an Icicle Crash when it comes in. Now he goes into Skarmory here, and I, again, like I said, hit this thing hard with an Icicle Crash. And actually from this damage, I was thinking that it was specially defensive, just because a physically defensive Skarmory would, I just feel like it wouldn't take that much from an Icicle Crash. So I switch out here. I'm not sure what I was predicting, but I wanted to get my hazards up as soon as I possibly could. And now the switch out into Wobbuffet was so obvious that he went for Whirlwind, as I did do that. And what I should have done was stayed in and gone for the Icicle Crash again, brought this thing down real low, and then he wouldn't have been, at the range where he could have, stopped me, done whatever he wanted to do. So what happened was I switched out into my Deoxys. He uses Whirlwind, gets me into my Mamoswine again, and I hard switch back out into my Deoxys, and then he goes for the Roost, back up to full. I did basically no damage to this thing, and I'm back where I started, to be honest. And I'm going to go for the Stealth Rock here just because I figured he doesn't carry the taunt, and he probably thinks that I carry the taunt. So, I don't think he has any attacking moves. I'm just going to go for the Stealth Rock as he goes into Genesect. I know the U-turn's coming, but it's okay. I packed the Rocky Helmet, and I wanted to stay in and get some residual damage off on this thing. And whatever, as long as I can get damage off on this Genesect, I'm not going to have that much problem with it. If his Terrakion or his Garchomp was scarfed, then that's where I would have a problem, because I would have to set up my Volcarona to +2 instead of +1. So luckily he does have a Genesect, and luckily it is scarfed. So I set up the layer of spikes as the Tyranitar comes in, and he's going to go for the Crunch as I set up my second layer of spikes and take me out. I really don't need Deoxys anymore. I could have stalled, yeah, sure, but I really needed my hazards up and then a safe switch into something else. So with that being said, I go into, I think, my Ninetales here to get rid of his sand as soon as possible, because I really don't want it up there, and I can just hit this. I have the HP fighting, so that's what I plan to go for as he decides to go into his Latias. The switch into Latias was really obvious. All right, I'll give you that. The switch into Latias was really obvious. I mean, it resists both stabs. Even if I run like the random Hypnosis, I'm not going to do much with any of the stabs that I have. So it was an obvious switch. But nonetheless, I could have went for the Will-O-Wisp, which I probably should have done, but I don't. I know I can take a Dragon Pulse just because I am the specially defensive variant. I do. I get a crit on that HP fighting, and then I get a crit on on this flamethrower. So I actually did a sizable chunk to this Latias, and I predict him to go for Recover. I get a safe switch into my Tentacruel. Hydra Kids, Hydra Wives is the little acronym there. And for those of you that are uneducated and don't know what an acronym is, it is a type of word that is made out of the beginning letter of a group of words. So that's probably a bad definition, but that's basically what it is. And I go for the Ice Beam as he goes for the Psychic. I knew I could take it because I'm a Tentacruel, but I thought I might be able to take it better, so I might switch this Tentacruel around, make it more specially defensive, just to get some Latias stuff, going on. And I'm going to go into my Mamoswine here. I'm going to go for the Ice Shard. You don't really need to predict with Mamoswine. Just because Life Orb Mamoswine, like, come on. You don't want to mess with it. Like, if you bring in the wrong poke on it, it's game over. So I go for the Ice Shard here. And judging by that damage, that's kind of where it tells me that I think this Skarmory is physically defensive, so I really have no idea what kind of Skarmory this is. I go for the Stone Edge here, making a horrible play. I should have went for the Ice Shard, the Icicle Crash, just because it would have done, I believe it would have done more, just because it's stab, and then Stone Edge isn't. So he whirlwinds me out into Wobbuffet. I don't want to stay in because I know he's going to set up spikes, predicting me to go for Encore, predicting him to go for Whirlwind. So I'm going to switch out and go into my Volcarona. So that's, whoa, that's burp, guys. That's disgusting. I predicted him to do that. That's exactly what happens. And now he's about to get roasted by, I believe this is still in the sun too, this Fire Blast. So I'm going to go for the Fire Blast, take it out. He predicted me to go for the Quiver Dance, which is, it's the good prediction to make because I have been playing very obviously. I do have a couple battles of this with this team already backed up. Just know that I was testing it out, and that's why all these plays are being made. So he goes on to his Tyranitar here. I'm pretty sure that from this range and with the Sandstorm boost, I can't take out the Tyranitar with a Bug Buzz. So I switch out and I go into my Ninetales, predicting the Stone Edge to happen. And I was hoping it would miss. It doesn't miss. He takes me out. That's absolutely fine. Sand really isn't that important to this team in general, and especially since Sandville got banned. So I go into my Mamoswine here. I'm gonna go for the Earthquake because, like I said, I don't need to overpredict. If he stays in with Tyranitar, it's gonna get destroyed. And if he switches out into Latias, it doesn't matter. I have the Ice Shard. So he could have switched out again, predicting the Ice Shard, but then he would have gotten residual damage on something. Most likely like his Terrakion or something that doesn't want to take Ice Shard damage is what he would have gotten it on. And yeah, he goes on to his Genesect here, and I make the bad, well, it's not really a bad play, it's just a questionable play. I thought maybe if I could take the +1 Flamethrower in the sun, then I could probably take it out with an Earthquake, but that's not the case. I don't know why I thought I could take that, just because I have Thick Fat, and in the sun, Thick Fat's canceled out, so it's just like nothing happened. And there's no like boost from the whatever, guys. The thing is, I go into my Wobbuffet here, and what I needed to do was not go for Miracle. That's the one thing I didn't want to do, because had I gone for a Safeguard, Encore, or the other thing which is Counter, then my Wobbuffet would have died. This Genesect would have been locked into Flamethrower, and I could have went out into my last poke, which is Volcarona, set up the +1 with the Quiver Dance. That thing would have been afraid, or would have gone for the Flamethrower, and then I would have been at +1. I can take a Flamethrower that's in the sun, +1 boosted, with my Volcarona, even after Spikes damage. And then after that, since I have leftovers instead of Life Orb, I could proceed to sweep the rest of his team. But that is not the case. I am stupid, and I go for the Mirror Coat to take it out. Then he goes into his Tyranitar, hits me with a Crunch. I go for the Quiver Dance here, hoping to God that he misses the Stone Edge. You already know by the video length that, like where I am right now and where the video ends. He hits his Stone Edge, takes me out. That's good game, Blackzero2125. I'm pretty sure he won that like with a 4-0 or like a 3-0, so I did really bad, but this team is fun. I really like it, and I hope that you guys do too, because you're going to see a lot of it. So click from the Genesect all the way to the Skarmory, and that will take you directly to Blackzero's page. You guys can go ahead and like his stuff, favorite it, sub to him, do whatever you want. If you click the Deoxys, it's going to take you to my last battle. If you click the Wobbuffet, it'll take you to my next one when I upload it next Friday. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Tumblr, add me on Skype, follow me on Instagram if you guys want. PuddlesA1 is the name throughout all that, and I swear to God, if you follow me on Instagram, I will kill you. And that is a lie, and I shouldn't have said God. I swear to Allah, God, Muhammad. Muhammad's not. I am just being stupid right now. What am I doing? Peace, love. Later, Gators.